What's up, everybody? Thanks for clicking this video. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Simon Hill. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, share, all that stuff. I'm out here in Marmaris, Turkey, and if you don't know who I am, I'm a Black American who's been traveling the world, and I give my opinions about various things. And this is going to be a very brief video. I didn't plan on doing it this way, but let's talk about it. So yesterday, I came out here to the beautiful promenade next to the coast here in Marmaris, Turkey, and I was walking with my wife, and we were going to the beach and stuff, and I saw a sign advertising the political campaign for the leftist president, or the leftist candidate for president, Kılıçdaroğlu, who's running for president here in Turkey, and the elections will be tomorrow, right? And I want to talk about what the sign said. It was written in Turkish, but I have a beautiful wife who speaks Turkish very fluently, because she is Turkish, that's why. Hi, this is Dennis. How are you, boo?
I'm good.
You good? All right, so let me ask you, what did the sign that we saw yesterday, what did it say?
It said like with different syllables, so that it's like,
You can say it in Turkish.
Okay, it said Suriyeliler gidecek or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that means the Syrians will go.
Right.
And it was like written in capital letters and like with separated syllables that says like it is been shouting, like it's like in the voice of a shouting. That makes sense.
Right. I'm gonna post a picture in my community tab for everybody to see the picture as it was. We came out here today to go back to the sign because I thought of this morning about talking about this topic. But they removed the signs. Why? Can you tell them why they removed the sign?
Because before 24 hours before the elections, you can't put up any campaign about the elections, and elections are tomorrow.
Right.
So.
And I guess we'll talk about that. The sentiment for tomorrow is that your guy is going to lose, right? And by the way, she's a leftist, right? But she's not supporting Erdogan, right? And the people feel right now that he's going to lose. Is that right?
No, I mean, some people still have hope. I don't have hope personally. Maybe that's why you think that he's going to lose, but in terms of the maths, it just doesn't add up that he wins, and that's why I am hopeless. But some people still have hope that he's going to win. Right. So we'll see.
Okay. Well, I hope the best for Turkey, and I'll just talk about this. So this video is not for nationalists. It's definitely not for conservatives. It's not for people on the right. If you don't know what I believe, I'm definitely an internationalist, a globalist. Borders don't mean anything. People should not be dying and killing over borders. Our humanity doesn't end at our passport. We are people, and we should care about other people. And that's why I took an ironic picture next to that sign that she described yesterday, because when I see something like that blatantly xenophobic, I'm gonna, point it out, because my duty is to speak up against injustice against all people and oppression against all people, right? So, this video is for leftists and specifically for internationalists, right? On the left, you cannot say that you truly believe in humanity and that we want a better world for all people, and at the same time say that we need strong borders and that we need to protect our nation. Every nation necessitates a border, and every border necessitates a guard standing at it, ready to die for it or kill for it. And that's not right? So, if you want to come to this video and say, well, our country is our country and we need to protect it, okay, you can say that, but also admit at the same time that you're a Nazi, that you believe in nationalism and that it's worth killing people or fighting people over a border, when it never is. It never is. Let's say the second thing about that. So in Turkey, my girl explained to me that on the left, they associate nationalism with the ideals that were promoted by the founder of the country, who was Ataturk. Ataturk fought a war, against the European powers who wanted to divide Turkey up and make Istanbul an international city and all of that. And the ideals that he put forward in his book were about, peace at home and peace abroad, but protecting the borders. Is that right?
Yeah, basically, don't touch anyone that doesn't bother us.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody tries to take our land and go across our borders with bad intentions, then we're gonna fight. That was the ideal, and also have good international relationships with other countries, specifically Europe. That was kind of the idea of that time. Right.
And so that's basic cut and dry nationalism that, he that he purported and he wanted people to believe in, right? And would you say that many people on the left want that to be sort of the ideal for Turkey? Like, they want to have freedom of expression, they want, gender equality, they want the freedom for minorities and LGBTQ people and that sort of thing, but they also want strong borders and to protect Turkish identity. Is that right?
Yeah. I would say most people do want all of those things, and then they also are very proud to be Turkish.
Right.
And that's why they want Turkey to do right by all those stuff that you talked about, like LGBTQ, women's rights, and all of that.
Right. And that's normal. The majority of people around the world believe in nationalism to some extent. Nationalism has been ingrained in our minds as a natural part of humanity. We've always had nations, we've always had kingdoms, we've always had societies built around culture, identity, and language and that sort of thing. But I would argue that this form of belief that we have now is not right, and it hasn't been natural. Nationalism, as we know it, has only existed in the last 150 years or so. And these ideas that we have about passports, visas, and identities based on where you just happen to pop out of the pussy are just bullshit. It's all bullshit. Nobody really wants to leave their country. Nobody really wants to be around people who speak different languages or are different than them. Most people want to live and die where they were born, right? Generally. And if you do happen one day to have to leave your country because of something like war, drought, or famine and that sort of thing, our humanity should supersede our passports, our nationalities, and that sort of thing. So when I see that sign that says, the Syrians, they need to go, or we don't want any more immigrants, or that sort of thing, this sort of ideas, these sorts of things really bother me. And as a leftist, as somebody who truly believes that, we should be fighting against the forces that seem most natural to us, or that seem the most evil and base to us, right? It might seem natural to say that, oh, those people over there are different than us and they need to be treated some different way. But I would disagree with that. We need to fight against those ideas and fight against those impulses to see the humanity in all of us. You can't really say you're a Muslim if you say the people over there don't deserve refuge, because the Prophet was a refugee in his own lifetime. He went from Mecca to Medina and had to seek refuge in Medina when he was being persecuted and the Muslims were being persecuted in Mecca. The early Muslims had to flee to Ethiopia because they were being persecuted in Mecca as well. Many Christians throughout history have become refugees. The Americas, all of the Americas were founded by European refugees and taken over by European refugees. So what are we talking about here? What are we really talking about? Everybody deserves the right to do what they want to do and be free. And some people might find that crazy, but that's what I honestly believe, because I believe more in humanity than your stupid passport or your stupid border. Thanks. That's all I have to really say, though. And I hope this offends everybody. I hope it offends you. I hope you get really pissed. I hope you say that, Simon, you're crazy. Simon, you're an idiot. Simon, how dare you speak out against imaginary lines? How dare I? How dare I? But, if I was Turkish, and I'm just ranting. If I was Turkish, right, I would definitely vote against Erdogan, just for the economy alone, right? I've been here living off and on in Turkey for the past year and a half, 2 years or so, right? And I've seen things double in price. And that alone is enough to say we need a change in administration or regime, not minding the cultural stuff, the religious stuff, things becoming more right-wing, that sort of thing. Just the economy alone would be enough. But as a leftist, if I was here as well, and hopefully I would have the same beliefs and ideals, I would hope that the guy who I'm voting for wouldn't actually implement a policy of saying we need to kick out refugees, right? That's horrible. And I understand in electoral politics that you have to pick the lesser of two evils, right? Kılıçdaroğlu is not the perfect candidate. You're never going to agree with somebody 100% in a democracy, right? So Kılıçdaroğlu is the left, but he's, not the ideal. You have to pick somebody who's going to at least get the guy who you really disagree with out of there, right? I can understand that point. I can understand that. But we should never say that, these ideals that they're putting out there are actually worth, believing in or supporting, right? When that sort of thing. And, go ahead. You got something you want to say?
No. I just want to say that I agree with you. Like, I can openly say that I'm going to vote for Kılıçdaroğlu, and I'm only doing it because we need to kick the other side out, because at least we need something that resembles more of a democracy and less of an empire. And it's not because all of his ideas are perfect and he's just the greatest angelic dude ever. Mm-hmm. But it's right. the best of the worst. Right.
No candidate is perfect. Nobody you're going to agree with 100%, just like how you disagree with me 1,000%. but I'll say this, you know, we do need to make sure that the right is always defeated in every election. Conservatives, nationalists, fascists, Nazis, all these people should be defeated in every election that ever happens. And especially here in Turkey, right, with the large Muslim population. And if you allow this sort of right-wing sentiment to grow, it could be very bad for the world, honestly, because we do know that Islamic extremism can be very deadly for all of us, right? And
all types of extremism.
Of course, as all types of extremism, right? Of course.
But then also Islam has jihad too, so that's kind of dangerous.
Right, and that needs to definitely be defeated. We don't need to, you know, support the type of ideas that end up allowing Islamic extremists to exist. The same way in my country, in the U.S., we don't need white supremacist ideas to be supported by candidates like Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis and all the other people who are supporting these sorts of evil policies, which then embolden people to do violence against other people, right? So I definitely think that the right should be defeated here in Turkey, right? Not that I have a dog in this fight, really. hopefully it does happen. But what I will say is that on the left, we shouldn't start taking these talking points that disregard people's humanity. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, we shouldn't, you know, it could happen to any of us. And by the way, that's how a lot of Europeans, right, the same people that a lot of the world, but in this case Turkey, view, you know, Europe as the ideal, right? A lot of Europeans view the Turks as the same way some people here in Turkey might view the Syrians, as refugees, as people who are unwanted, people that need to go back to their country and all that. And you don't want your auntie and uncle in Germany to be told to go back to their country when they've been living there 20, 30 years and they've paid taxes all that time to that country and built that country up, worked in those factories and dedicated their lives to being good, proper German citizens. You wouldn't want somebody saying that to your Turkish cousin, Turkish brother, or anybody shouldn't be told that, to go back to some country or go back to wherever you want. You can go wherever the fuck you want. You can do whatever you want to do. Nobody should tell you what to do, just like you're not going to tell me what to say. And what I have to say is that internationalism is the wave. It's rizzy. It's dope. Globalism is the truth. Nationalism gets the thumbs down.
Yeah, I just want to say something.
Go ahead.
Like you said, there's a lot of like xenophobia against like Afghanis and like Iraqis and, you know, people like people in, how do you say that, like the North Africa,
right?
Like
Arabs
and, you know, all of those similar people, Indians, and I feel like all Europeans kind of view us the same. Like, I don't think a European would understand the difference between a Turkish person and a Syrian person and a Tunisian person.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
So, like, I don't know why Turkish people are so, like, you know, very
nationalistic or xenophobic in this case.
And, like, they're, like, just so...
Right. Well, I would say
into themselves.
Right. I would say they do it because Turkish people, like all people, are human, right?
Yeah.
And when you believe in these things like nationalism and you've been told that we have to protect our countries and borders, you're going to do that. It doesn't matter. You know, the average Turkish person doesn't give a fuck about what the French think of Moroccans or Turkish people, right? Because you're a Turkish person in Turkey and you're going to think about your country and your identity that way. The same way me, or not me, but many Americans think about their country, right? America's this and we don't care about what happens in the rest of the world. Everybody does that in their own country, right? So that's natural. But what I'm trying to say is it shouldn't be natural, and it actually isn't natural. We've all been taught to believe these things that are not true. Humanity comes first, people come first. Let people go where they want to go. Let people live where they want to live. Nobody really wants to come to a country and commit crime. People commit crime out of desperation and poverty. This isn't a myth, it's a fact. Nobody, you know, people really just want to live good lives for themselves, their family, and contribute to others. And that's it. That's all I really have to say. I hope this video pissed off the whole world. I hope everybody doesn't understand anything I say. I hope your long, stupid comment gets deleted. And that's all I really have to say. So thank you for watching. You have anything else?
No.
No?
I hope you're annoyed.
And peace.